Good evening everyone, this is Kosala, also known as Marventus, bringing you the second game in the semi-finals of the Star 2.org tournament. As we saw in Game 1, bLuR decisive victory, emerging right here as quite significantly victorious in that game. Let's see how his opponent does this time. Here in the top right hand corner we have Mr. LGAgh. I'm just going to call him Agh from now on. As the teal Protoss in the bottom left hand corner, we've got the purple Terran, Mr. bLuR, the winner of the last game. Let's see how this game evolves. Into the production tab we go. Currently, of course, there is some chit-chatting going on between the players, talking about the last game, I guess. Mass Marines versus Colossus, that's indeed what it was. And now we've got production, nothing exciting going on here. We've got the odd probe and the odd SCV coming out, as you would expect. A fun map, this one, leading well to some brutal short encounters. Let's see how we do. What's going on here? We've got some probes being chrono boosted out, and over here we have our supply depot being constructed. Nothing strange about that. Thing to watch out for on this map, of course, are the backdoor rushers. We've got one there, and we have one there. And so far neither player is keeping track of what's going on in either of their back doors. Nothing too surprising about that, because of course this early in the game there isn't anything that could possibly happen. Nothing could possibly happen, unless of course you are a foxer and you go charging in with a bunch of SCVs, as indeed one does. Right, or actually one doesn't, he does. Right, what do we have here? We have, not too surprisingly, a barracks coming up now at 14 supply. We have the first refinery going down as well. And on this end of things we have the first of the assimilators going down there, and the gateway coming up at 14-15 supply. So pretty standard opening from both players. Nobody's in a rush to do anything. And here we have the first expeditionary foray to scout the opponent. The probe coming in nice and early. And just as last time, bLuR not bothering to do the early scouting. He knows exactly where his opponent is. Totally uninterested in what he's doing at this time. And there comes the SCV out just in time to catch the probe, poking at it a little bit, and the shields are down, but is he going to get out of there? He is, without any further damage. He sees what he needs to see. The orbital command is happening, the barracks is happening, and the shield has regenerated as well. Now, is there going to be a proxy pylon being put up? No, there is nothing cheese-like going on there. So the SCV is hanging out here just to make sure he can see if anything nonsensical is happening. But on the whole, it looks like fairly standard openings. Here we have a probe going down now at the back entrance to keep an eye on things, as indeed he should, and there should be a supply depot going down here momentarily. No, he's just taking a little peek there, see if anything is happening, found nothing, and moved right on along. Let's take a look at the income tabs. This early in the game it should be fairly even. Indeed it is. Nothing altogether surprising. Back to the production tab we go. Now, in the last game, we saw that neither of the players were in any kind of great interest in gearing up or arming up too quickly. Both played a nice macro game, expanded very early. I would imagine that we're going to see something similar this time as well. What do we have here? We have a second barracks going up and a third barracks going up very early. This is somewhat unusual compared to the last game. Let's see if this means there'll be some earlier aggression from both players. Some interesting pylon placement there. No overlap between these two areas. I wonder if that's intentional. We have a cybernetics core that has come out, and warp gate research is being researched, and we have an early expansion going down for our Protoss, who's taking an early economic lead in a moment, or will be taking one. There goes the supply depot at the back door for our Terran player. And is there going to be any kind of early expansion here? It doesn't actually look like it. There are armies coming out quickly. Reactor has gone down on the first barracks, and we have Stimpack being researched here in the second one. It looks like there may be some early aggressive efforts from our Terran. A stalker came to poke his head around there to see what's going on and had to back off in a really big hurry. So now LGAgh can see that bLuR is on to an early amassing of armies. Let's see what that means. Whoa, we have a bit of an FPS drop there. I do apologize for that. Suddenly dropped to 2. This is happening because my game is actually running on the same hard drive that I'm recording the Fraps recording to, which I'm going to be fixing as of this weekend, everyone, because I'm getting a separate hard drive to stick stuff onto there. That should sort that out, and my frame rate should be back to normal after that. Here we've got some... the first sentry is being chrono boosted out from LGAgh, and I imagine that we will see him start putting together a bit of an army now Now that he has spotted the Marines out. We should have a timing push coming from our Terran player bLuR as soon as that stim pack and shield is done. Or he might simply be training that for no particular reason, I'm not entirely sure. We'll find out in just a bit. 2 sentries coming out with a line of probes. The expansion... Oh, and there we have an SCV coming to poke its head around the door, but doesn't get very far, taken down by the sentries and the stalker very quickly. Now where's this probe headed out? Is there a proxy pylon going somewhere? It seems to be targeting... the LGAgh tower. Wanting to keep an eye on things, as indeed he should. Now the economy of the Protoss player should be well ahead at this point. Actually no. Still reasonably even. And being held even, of course, because of the mules. Here comes the timing push that I was talking about. The upgrades are done for the Terran player, or almost done. And he is pushing out with a bunch of Marines and Marauders. And at this point in time, there isn't a lot to stand in its way. There are a few sentries out. There are a couple of there's one stalker out and some zealots. Let's see how LGAgh deals with this. He certainly should be expecting it, and he can close that off, choke point off fairly quickly. Or is he going to do that? Yes, one shield going down, one force field going down, but still, actually rather intelligently not wasting another force field where one wasn't necessary, because bLuR has backed off and gone to the back door. Which of course LGAgh will have spotted immediately. Now he's following up because he needs to ensure that that back door doesn't go down, because if that goes down he is in trouble. Alright, he's coming in to do a little bit of foray, picking up the straggling unit that was coming in to back up the original army. Good choice there. And these are still rallied to the wrong place. There, he's caught them, bLuR, and he's going up the back door. This is going to be problematic for LGAgh because he cannot hold off using force fields in the same easy sort of way. We have a whole bunch of Marines. In fact, we have too many Marines and Marauders in here. This could be problematic for LGAgh. He's coming in. Defensive shields are up. Zealots are dying all over the place. Those sentries, force fielded in totally the wrong place. And are they going to be able to hold off? That is the question. The Zealots are doing a nice amount of damage there. But yes, this looks good for LGAgh. He is doing a decent job. But still, those Marines and Marauders are wreaking havoc. And there's more supply lines on the way at the point all the time. We have probes being pulled off the line to defend, but this is not going well for LGAgh at all. He's down to his last 2 stalkers, warping in a couple of zealots. I wonder if those weren't the wrong units to warp in, to be honest. Those probes are not going to be able to do much. They're coming in anyway. We have more Marauders coming in to do some damage. This is looking very ugly for LGAgh. He's managed to do a nice force field job there, taking down 2 Marauders. Another pylon going up there. In fact, another one there as well. So let's see what this looks like. Is he gonna make it? A couple of more probes coming in, but those Marauders are constantly reinforcing and they do tons of damage. The Stalkers are in the background doing a nice job staying behind the sentries, but the sentries are going to be going down any second now. Shields looking extremely weak. Marines coming in to reinforce from behind. There goes one of the Stalkers. Another one of the Stalkers now about to go down. The sentries go down. We have 2 more being morphed in. No, those are Zealots. The Zealots are being morphed in. This could be a problem because the Marauders can kite those Zealots for forever, basically. Especially with the Marines to back them up. There's continuous reinforcement coming in here from bLuR. He's doing an excellent job keeping this going, and he appears to have come out victorious here. Out of minerals here on the side of our Protoss. Last 2 sentries on the field. Few more. Now the money's flowing in a little bit more. Is he going to be able to warp in anymore? The gas is running low as well. 2 more force fields going out, completely pointless. This is, you can easily run around those. Look at the health of those Marines and Marauders. They're on their absolute last sliver and sitting around doing all the damage in the world. Those probes are not even going to get close. There goes another sentry. Here goes another pylon. LGAgh is on his last stand. Is he going to be able to pull some magic out of the hat, or is this second game also going down? It's a best of 3, so if LGAgh falls here, that is the end of the road for him in this particular tournament, and it is not looking good. Even more probes going out. Nothing mining right now. Just 2 probes on the gas. Last 2 Zealots and a Stalker in play. It doesn't look like it's going to work. Here goes another point. Yep, there goes a gateway. Here goes another pylon. This is looking very bad. 2 more Stalkers coming in to try to help out. 2 more Zealots rather. 1 Stalker in the background. But the army of bLuR is simply too much, and he's doing an excellent job with that. Calling down a mule to repair, I would imagine. But what is he going to repair? That is the question. The mule is mining for some odd reason. There is the GG, and LGAgh has left the game. That means that this semi-final goes to bLuR, who's showing some patient but excellent Terran tactics against his Protoss opponent. I hope you all enjoyed it. This is the semi-finals, or this was the second game of the semi-finals in the Star2.org tournament hosted by GameReplays.org. So do go by there and take a look. I look forward to bringing you the second game of the semi-finals along with the finals in the next few days to come. I hope you enjoyed it. Have an excellent evening. Good night.